Welcome to LNG. I'm Jamai Hakwani. Today I have Manuel Gonzales III. He's a candidate for sheriff. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jamai. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I know you guys are busy. It's a political season. We have a lot of candidates. This is a political show, so we bring a lot of people. You're a law enforcement officer. You're running for. You were appointed. Let's talk about that a little bit. When you were appointed in 2009, and how that came about. I think when Darren White was left the office, correct?
Yes, correct. He had left the office for the mayor's office, and that gave me the opportunity to put my name in the hat. And there was 20 other applicants or candidates that got vetted through a process, and based on my experience in administrative skills, they chose me.
And it was a commissioner. I think the commissioners chose
the county
right?
commission as a whole. Yes.
I think that's the normal process, right? How if someone vacates there?
If somebody vacates it, the county commission has the authority to appoint.
So what was your perception at that time when you came in the office? Well, how was it going in that way when you were appointed? Was there, do you think that would be a lot harder this time going in? Suppose you have just as good a chance to win in there right now. So
absolutely, I believe I have an advantage in the fact that I have the experience, to have had the opportunity to be the sheriff. You have to deal with a lot of situations while you're there, from personnel matters to policy matters. To just community issues, and you're constantly interfacing with people in the department, at the county, throughout this community to solve problems.
What was it the first thing that you did when you first walked in there as sheriff? I know there was a new thing for you because you were appointed, and you've been in law enforcement for many, many years, so you did have the law enforcement background.
Yes.
You're naturally. When you walked in there, what was it like?
Well,
the first time around?
I had planned on running. But to be honest with you, I wasn't expecting that evening to get the nomination, and I did by surprise. And I mean, I had never experienced anything in my life. I know, I had been involved in some major incidents in the department, and I never really felt nervous. But I'm telling you, that night when I was there, and my wife was there, and my children were there, and they nominated me, and I got the appointment. I could literally feel my heart pounding through my shirt, and
exciting moment.
Exciting, but like I told you, I've been involved in other incidents that were, you would think, high-speed pursuits or incidents with firearms, and I had never felt that way.
Nothing.
It was never nothing like that. And as a matter of fact, even when I got married, I wasn't nervous like that, and it was a good feeling. But as soon as I took office, I had an opportunity to have a conversation with Darren White. He gave me a card, and wished me.
So you went through a transition.
Yeah, I went through a transition. We didn't discuss a lot of the things were going on, and it's kind of funny you said that. I didn't have a transition period with the sheriff because it took place so quickly, but because I had the experience of being around the department, I knew who was who. We sat down with other people and we figured out what needed to get done, and then I had to start moving and making an undersheriff appointment and surrounding myself with the staff that I knew would get things done.
And who do you have under you as a sheriff? Do you have 4 other deputies there, the second in command?
No, you have
an
appointment that you have the opportunity as a sheriff to make, and that is going to be somebody that's an appointed position. The other people that you bring on board as your public information officer and an executive secretary.
You have to choose them.
Yes.
Correct.
And I happen to choose people from within because I knew their abilities.
You already knew them and stuff ahead of time,
Yes.
I think, and they work for the department and stuff.
Yes.
What is your impression of the department now after all these years now, since 2009? What is your impression? Is it, you feel like it needs certain improvement in certain areas? Do you need more people there? Do you need more deputies? What would you do differently this time?
Okay, well, my understanding is there has been an increase in staffing. So, from the time I left. So there's going to be more deputies. There's other units that have been introduced to the department. And for me, going back in as a sheriff, what I would do is I would do performance budget things to see if these units are really being effective, efficient, and productive. And then at that point, make decisions on if you're going to make changes or adjustments in those units. And to me, it's like not going in there. Of course, we're all going to have our own ideas of what we need to get accomplished. But some things I've heard in terms of being positive in units, in terms of like public relations, because I know that's a very sensitive subject in the community right now.
Well, currently, yeah, the
Yes.
last couple of years, we have so much trouble with everything.
Yes, and there's a disconnect, I believe, from what I'm hearing in the community. You hear it in the local media. And one unit that I think that's going over very well is the bike unit, because they get an interface with the community. Those people that are involved, neighborhood associations. I attended the National Night Out last evening, and I spoke to a gentleman that was running that. And first thing I heard in a positive manner was they had that interface with deputies that were out there in the community riding their bikes, taking care of issues directly. And that's something that we need to look on expanding.
How is their assignments different? Is it pretty similar to the patrolmen in the vehicles, in the patrol cars, or their assignments slightly because they are more one-on-one?
Well, their assignments would be, there's more latitude in there because if you have somebody that's running an area command, for example, a commander, and they identify a problem in their community, they're able to reach out to this unit and they're able to give these resources specifically to these specific areas in any part of the county. So that could be anywhere. If you're having an issue there with transient people there on the ditch banks, or if you have issues just from people loitering.
So you
or
can, you can concentrate them in that area.
You can concentrate things in terms of, like, if you see an increase in burglaries, an increase of just maybe during the holidays, you know, we'll go through the stage of where people are at the parking lots and people's vehicles are getting broken because they have their gifts in there. We can focus and concentrate those resources into those areas.
As far as that, the bike unit has been there for a long time?
No, absolutely. This is something new since I've left. And
for the sheriff department?
Yes.
Oh, so I didn't realize that. I thought it was an older unit there.
No, it's not. The department's always been based on community-based policing. That's something that's been in existence. That's something that needs to be reinforced by continuing to go to these neighborhood meetings and find out what the issues are. From a local government standpoint, local government is supposed to work from getting that information from the community and then introducing those into your objectives and goals for the department.
You know, lately there's been so much public relations. I mean, in some ways, people call it a disaster in public relations. They say, well, it's so, the APD has gone wrong. I mean, Bernalillo County Sheriff too have their own set of issues there and stuff. Public relations a problem, you think?
Not so much public relations, but maybe just getting out more and having that interface time with
they have
the
to have more focus on it.
Yes.
I think. Let me take a short break. We'll come back and we'll continue our conversation.
Okay.
We'll take a short break, guys. We'll be right back.